Shalom. Shalom, my brothers and sisters, and welcome to the final part of Day of Shabbat. Day of Shabbat, part of the series Message from a Watchman by Symmanayah. Welcome back to the final segment of Day of Shabbat. I want to say before we get into this final episode, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your patience. I want to thank you for taking the time to invest in the words and the message that was presented in this presentation. And I pray sincerely with all my heart that these words are confirmed, are reinforced, are validated by the Spirit of Yahushua according to His scriptures. I pray that my words line up. I pray that my actions in these presentations are reflective of an obedient servant, one that is worshiping the Most High Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua. I pray that my actions are consistent with that of an obedient servant. And yes, my brothers and sisters, I am prepared to be laid to rest if that is what Yahuwah see fit. If I have said anything that is contrary to righteousness, contrary to His righteousness, His words, I have prayed and consecrated myself before Him, and I believe wholeheartedly in the information that I've presented to you in each of these series. Thanks again, my brothers and sisters, and we'll conclude this section. We'll get into this last segment right after the disclaimer has been read. As I read the disclaimer, this is important, and so you will find it in each video and each presentation. The views expressed in this presentation do not reflect the views of any technological portal I use. My views do not reflect the management and or staff of YouTube, Ustream, Facebook, Talk, or any other such communication portals. Like with any information presented, you are advised to research and seek confirmation. Each of us are held accountable for our own actions and decisions. Let the presentation begin. And as we bring this series to close, remember, yes, getting our house in order is important. I'd like to present some more scriptures to you to think on and pray on. 1 Timothy 6:20. O Timothy, watch over that which has been entrusted to you, turning aside from the profane and empty babblings and contradictions of the falsely called knowledge. Let me read that again. O Timothy, watch over that which have been entrusted to you, turning aside from the profane and empty babblings and contradictions of the falsely called knowledge. So there are people who are falsely saying they are entrusted and they're knowledgeable, and they're not. In 1 Timothy 6:21, which some have professed it, have missed the goal concerning the belief. Favor be with you. Amen. So you can see that it is important for us to realize what's been entrusted to us. What's been entrusted to us. And that we have a responsibility and an obligation. And clarity only comes if our hearts continue to worship and seek to obey the Father according to His scriptures, His living and written words. And we receive that teachings and comforts and guiding by the Spirit of Yahushua. Keep that in mind, my brothers and sisters. Keep that in mind. Now the fine print. Yes, the fine print. Responsibility to the guard. You have reviewed the content of this presentation. You cannot hit rewind or pretend the experience never occurred. Therefore, you are faced with the responsibility of how you will manage the information provided. I encourage you to seek answers to any questions this presentation poses as it relates to your own understanding. It would be wise not to rush to judgment, lest you find yourself giving false witness to something with origins from above. There are many brothers and sisters quick to point out false doctrine or teachings, but yet they themselves have dull senses when it comes to hearing the voice of the Most High. Know this, if what is presented in this presentation is true, if true, It will perform as it is designed and will not return to the Father void of its purpose. Remember, family, it is the Spirit of Yahushua that will teach and guide us daily. He will provide comfort and understanding as well. Our sole purpose should be to worship and obey Him according to His written and living instructions. This has been a presentation by a servant of the Most High Yahuwah. You are now the judge of its content. Judge wisely. Shalom. And this is the conclusion. The conclusion of Day of Shabbat. Keep in mind, it is supposed to be, and it is, a set-apart day. Let us guard wisely, let us choose wisely, and let us be precise in understanding what it is we're guarding, why, for what purpose. And let us be obedient, and let us be strong. Again, this is the conclusion. Shalom to those who seek to worship and obey Yahuwah in the name of Yahushua. Shalom. Know this. Yahuwah's word, written and living, will be fulfilled. Study, my brothers and sisters. Study, pray, and watch with a heart to worship and obey the Spirit of Yahushua. Study and incline your ear to walk after righteousness as guided by those used by the Father in the name of the Son, Yahushua. We can do it. I believe in you, and I believe it can be done, my brothers and sisters. Thanks for tuning in to this segment of Day of Shabbat. And I pray that this segment enriches your heart, your spirit, and mind. I pray that this segment adds strength to you in your journey. And most of all, I pray above all things that this segment is consistent with the righteous guidance of the Father in the name of Yahushua. I'd like to invite you to visit my website at www.yazwatchman.net, www.yazwatchman.net, and consider powtalk.com. Powtalk is a new application that offers an alternative way to fellowship, a refreshing and alternative way to fellowship. That's powtalk.com. I open a room called Beacon of Yahushua that can be found in the category of ethnic groups, African American, and then you will see the room titled Beacon of Yahushua. The room is open 7 days a week, occasionally during the day and evening at random times. 7 days a week, offering opportunity for new discoveries and fellowship. That's Beacon of Yahushua. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope that you consider more presentations from A Message from a Watchman by Symmanayah.